Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a dark trap melody. It's more than just the notes, and if you don't know me, I'm Game from BusyWorksBeats.com. I need you guys to smash that like button. For those who don't know me, I'm Game from BusyWorksBeats.com. We train over 1 million producers around the world. Some have gone to work with Drake, Kanye West, Post Malone, Ariana Grande, French Montana, Young Thug, Polo G, Trippie Redd, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Glorilla. We have 3 confirmed Grammy winners and multi-platinum plaque winning producers. So that's the information I'm going to derive from. So let's pull up the BusyWorks Beat sampler. This is a free plugin at busyworksbeats.com/sampler. Comes with factory presets. We're going to use those factory presets today. I'll even use a tone that's more like happy, which is this E piano. Sorry, y'all, that's my keyboard. Forgot to turn it off. Okay, so what we're going to do, somebody asked me, like, what are the chords in trap? It's 2 chords, a minor chord and a suspended second chord. So wherever you start is the 0 point because it's the point of rest, okay? And this could be any root note. So we're gonna start at D. We're gonna count up 3. So it's 0, 3, 7 is the minor chord. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a lot of people on YouTube copying my methods and not crediting me, and they're butchering the process. So it's 0, 3, 7, okay? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're counting up note by note. All right, so from this point, we're gonna take this chord. We're going to take this middle note, pull it down 1. So now it's 0, 2, 7. We're not talking about scale degrees. We're talking about integer notation. We're referring to distance. All right, so it's really simple. Now from here, we're going to take the root note, copy this down twice so that we have 2 octaves. Now, if you want to get fancy, what we can do is actually change the bass note. So without going through this whole thing of trying to change out the chords and do all this fancy stuff, we could simply just change the bass note. We could pull this up 1, for example, or we can go down 5 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This creates what's called the perfect fifth. It's up 7 notes, down 5 notes. And just like that, we have a movement without changing the actual chord types up top. So that's how you create movement and trap without overly doing it. Now I'm going to do a different method here. I'm going to pull this down to the 5th. I know I'm going a little fast here. We're going to take the root note, go down 5 notes, go up 1 note. This is called a sharp 5th or augmented 5th. And then we're going to take the tonic note, which is D, and then just go up 1. So the only thing changing is the bass. Okay, now if we were to do a top line, a simple technique is to either use the pentatonic scale or to just go up the scale degrees. We don't need to bore you guys to tears about scales. Really, you could just play this exact chord. If you go up an octave, play the exact chord, just spread apart. So instead of playing it like all at once, we're gonna spread these notes out. Now I'm gonna kind of jump ahead and give you guys what's called a chord extension. So remember, we used the minor chord and then we went into a suspended second chord. So this is 0, 3, 7. This is 0, 2, 7. To be short about it, because there's a lot of teaching behind this, the suspended second is really the 9th pulled down an octave. Okay, that's all it is the 9th pulled down. So we're going to add the second in here as a melodic tone. And that will create 4 notes. 4 notes is usually the structure that we create for trap. Now, again, you could change out the notes so it's not dun 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 dun, like every single time. Okay, so what we can do is change out this bottom note. Let's pull this up an octave so we can really hear. Now, my ear wants to hear this note change. So let's copy what we did in the bass. And we don't have to do that. That's just something that I wanted to do. Now let's go inside the plugin itself. Now here's where we're going to add the extra darkness. So I've added my proprietary reverb technique, which is to add halftime to the reverb. So let's turn that up. Turn the speed to -100. We're going to turn up the speed mix and turn up the reverb. So this creates a smeary dark tone, and then we could use the high pass filter to cut out the lows. So now it's like underneath. Creates a nice smeary tone. We could also do reverse reverb. Let's also up the decay curvature so that it has a really long tail. Longer tails are usually more haunted. We can also add delay so that that effect continues on. And then we could also reverse the delay as well. We also have spring reverb added so you guys can mess with this. Spring reverb gives you more of a fluttery reverb. And now we're getting a dark tone based off of the effects. Let's also add a little tremolo here. We don't have to do pan, but we could do volume tremolo. And it just creates like a crescendo type of effect, where it's not just a static volume. And there's a little movement there. So that's the other side of the dark sound, is adding these effects. So now we took this very pleasant E piano and made it sound dark. So let's hear it in context. Now this might be a little too much movement. Okay, so the effects we have are more built for spread out notes. The notes we added are a little too fast for this many effects. So normally if I wanted to play a melody, I'd play something like this, spread out. So we're just going to take off the reverse effect because that tends to get a little cluttered when you add too many notes like we have here. Let's go back to the reverb, take off the... Now I'm going to show you guys one more technique for a dark vibe. So for this one, we're going to slow it down. So let's hit Control A, hit Alt. We're going to drag this from 8 bars to 16 so that it has more room to spread out. And now we can go back and add that reverb without it getting too... Let's also add a texture in here. Let's add some good old crickets. Now on this effect, you can also randomize the cricket so it doesn't just play straight through. It kind of chops it and moves it around. You can also reverse the crickets if you want. Let's just turn down the speed effect. Now because we have spring reverb on, I'm going to turn off the original reverb and just use the spring reverb. Now we have a more controlled dark sound without it getting too scattered. You can also add a little drive. I've noticed a lot of dark sounds have a little bite to them. And then we can add a low pass filter to make it more muffled. And then we can add a mod envelope here. Let's add a little vibrato. Take off the tremolo effect. Now what we're going to do is layer some more sounds in here. Let's grab an organ. Again, this is the free library that you guys get with the BusyWorks Beat Sampler. Another way to make stuff dark is add a little attack so it's a little more like a pad. We're going to take off the reverse on the delay. So now we're gonna switch the spring reverb type so it's more fluttery. So now it goes like that in the reverb. Now, sometimes simply dropping stuff down an octave creates a darker tone. So let's try the octave. And now we have this dark, ambiguous sound. Okay, so it's all these things combined that create a unique sound. Let's even add a bell. So I'm gonna save this as a preset because it sounds pretty dope. Now on top of this, we can add one shots for different textures. So let's load up a one shot. Now this has to be tuned, so whoa, let's turn this down. Alright, so now it's more tuned. Let's add a loop on the one shot. Let's make it go backward and forward, crossfade. We can even add unison to the one shot. Let's add a little attack to it so it blends in. And now we have this really wide, dark sound. Alright, so now we have a nice dark sound. Now if you guys are crazy, you can hit the random button and it will basically randomize the entire patch. So that includes the effects. Whoa, so we gotta make sure we... So it still has that dark vibe. Let's just change some things about these. So even with random sounds, this stuff works. Let's just cut off some of these. I can't tell if it's the synth or the one shot. Okay, it's definitely the synth. Synthesis is too bright. And the one shot is cool because if you guys listen to it, it goes like ding, 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 like that. So when you hit random, it pulls from any of your libraries. If you guys want all of our sounds, just go to busyworksbeats.com/sampler and grab Hercules, Hypnos, Halo 3, and Helios. That is the paid version. And we're going to be adding more sounds as well. So those are additional sounds. But if we listen to the one shot, I think it's a one shot. Something was going like bling, ding, 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 something like that. Maybe I was just tripping. Maybe that was one of these sounds on the front. Okay, I stand corrected. It was the guitar morph sound. Never mind. But another feature, we can go into the one shot and add what's called round robin. So we'll basically go through each one shot and play it per voice. So if I turn the synth off, it's cycling through the one shots. So every note is something different. It's another way to add like a dark randomness to your guys' sound. And this is a random patch, you guys. Let's add some of that spring reverb in here. Let's go on studio. Let's add a filter to our synth. Now we get a nice dark tone. All right, so darkness is part sound design, part effects, but also understanding basic music theory. So if you guys want to learn all these things, go to busyworksbeats.com/premium to learn more. We have 90+ courses. To grab our free sampler, go to busyworksbeats.com/sampler. I'll leave both links below. Peace out, guys.